usually I don't know what we're going to talk about or how we're going to make some of these subjects exciting. This time we have a real juicy topic to open the show with, so it's going to be interesting.
Yes, we're just gonna start off the show talking about The Rock, man. I don't even need to really introduce the angle or what happened or summarize it. I think everybody knows by now. So we can just jump into it. I will mention that Robert's not here, unfortunately. Our third member of our crew is sick today, so he couldn't make the show. He called off. But he did send a review, and we'll talk about it in a little bit when we pull up our Malapert Smark review. But let's get into it. Let's just go ahead and talk about The Rock real quick. Episode number 150. This is our blog post. I'm going to put it in the description also if anyone wants to follow along. But Vlad, the heel turn happened. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything that happened and the play-by-play, because I'll show that coming up too, let's just talk about the heel turn. John Cena turned heel finally. You got any initial comments you want to make?
About his heel turn? Oh, well, I mean, it's historic. It was a historic moment. It was a viral moment. It has everybody in the wrestling community talking about it. It's huge. It's one of the greatest heel turns of all time. I mean, let's put it out there. There's only been a couple that have, are really memorable on a national level. I know I'm not talking about the territory days because that was just the territory days, but Hogan's heel turn, 96 when he joined the NWO, Austin's failed heel turn, but whatever. It was pretty memorable. Heel turn when he sided with Vince, right? That was big. And this one, I think, is right up there with those because of who is involved, and what's at stake, and the fact that it's John Cena, who has been the babyface of all babyfaces. We've wanted him to turn heel during most of the prime of his wrestling career, right? When he was going good and he was the main guy by far. I thought it'd be so cool to turn him heel. It would just be a great thing to flip it around. Never happened. But here it is, the last year of his career. And they decided to turn him heel. And I guess it was one of those things like, hey, if it's not now, it's never. But man, they really did a great job because I don't think a lot of people really saw it coming. I mean, now people are like, oh, there were some hints. Look what he said at the Royal Rumble press conference. It's best for business that I'm in the Elimination Chamber. Okay, that's true. But nobody really thought he was going to turn heel. Nobody really did. I mean, it's John Cena, So it was a great moment. And plus, we had to side with The Rock. Like, that's also the thing that didn't really click, right? Because, like, they've never really been friends. So they feuded. They had a nasty feud for 2 years. So that's the one. Yeah, that's the one hole in the argument to me of why he's teaming with The Rock. But I guess they're both Hollywood now, so I guess you could say that makes sense. That was a long time ago. Yeah. Their feud was a long time ago, and I think the way they're going to explain it is kind of similar to the way Austin explained his heel turn. He needed that title. He wanted that title. It was the last chance for him to get. Well, it really was kind of Austin's last chance at that time to get a title. But this is definitely Cena's last chance for a title. That much we do know, and he really wants it to happen. And I guess the only way that he could get it is with The Rock. That's the way they'll try to explain why this amazing thing happened. But it was great theater. The audience was shocked. Everybody was shocked. I mean, there's been so many reaction videos of it that I've seen. It's just one of the great wrestling moments. I really do feel that way. That's why we rated it so highly in our ranking system, right? I mean, that's why all of us did, because we thought this is what wrestling is all about. This is why we cover wrestling, right? It's for moments like this. I feel for situations that unfolded like this. So this was. I'll wrap it up. I don't want to keep going too much longer, but this was a sensational wrestling moment. Again, one of the great heel turns of all time. They did it really well because a lot of people didn't see it coming. And sometimes, we doubt Triple H or we doubt the booking. We had a lot of questions about like, hey, what the heck was The Rock talking about last SmackDown? Like, what the hell was up with that promo? But man, it ended up being this. It ended up at this heel turn, which again is pretty genius, I would say, because I think most people thought Cody was going to turn heel, because why else is Cena in the ring there with him? He's going to attack Cena. They're both going, and then The Rock and Cody are going to beat up Cena. It ended up being the complete opposite, which, again, they fooled us pretty good there. Or at least they fooled me. But anyways, great job all the way across the board by the WWE writers. But anyways, great heel turn. And that's it. I'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that more. I really just wanted to get more just your thoughts on generally John Cena turning heel finally, because that's the big takeaway from it. But we're going to get into the details. I'll show some clips and some images and stuff. But do you think this happened at the right time? Because I'm kind of thinking like they should have still done it back in the days.
Of course.
2013, it was already there for the doing. I don't know where exactly I would have done it. Maybe like the CM Punk thing, that could have been like an easy double turn.
Sure.
They could have made Punk face and Cena a heel, just because of the merciless amount of boos he's been getting. Like,
yeah, it was probably at the time where he was getting booed completely as a face because people were just sick of him. I mean, that's the time to do it. That's the time to do it, man. But they just didn't want to mess with the golden goose. They didn't want to mess with their merch. It was kind of the same stuff that Hogan was worried about when he was turned heel. Like, he didn't want to mess with his merch, and he didn't want the kids not to like buy his stuff anymore and think that he's an asshole and things like that. But yes, it should have happened then. And we were around and saw a lot of those shows, which were not great, but could have been a lot better if Cena was a heel, because he would have pulled it off and done quite well with the role.
Yeah, we had to sit through so much garbage wrestling, where if John Cena turned face or turned heel, it would have saved us a lot of boredom. A lot of boredom.
Yeah, I agree because he's, as much as I like Cena I like him more than I think you do, but as much as I like him as a performer and a guy, like personally, like, he could have turned heel and he would have saved those shows from being very predictable and a lot more exciting, especially during that time where wrestling really wasn't that great. It was not really a great time for wrestling. It's not as hot as it is now, I feel. So yes, he should have turned around that time, but I still feel if they're ever going to do it, you might as well do it now. If this really is the end of his career, you might as well do it, man. Then you could say he did it all. He did do the heel thing, but yeah, of course, it was better when he was in his prime. No, of course.
All right, so the Cena heel turn with Cody and everything, I listed that as a separate storyline on our Elimination Chamber review, which is the link is in the description below if you guys want to see our whole thumbs up, thumbs down for every storyline and every angle. But for this one, I did it separate. The Elimination Chamber match we'll talk about also. But for this one, it garnered the highest ratings from the three of us that there could possibly be. Let's go through our ratings before we go through the play-by-play real quick. But here is Vlad, 10 points. Finally, a mind blown. He had never given one. Never given one. Since we started doing this back in, I think sometime in July last year, we started doing these ratings.
I think I've only given, like, This Was Fire to maybe, like, the WrestleMania last year and maybe the Hell in a Cell match between McIntyre and Punk, but I think that's, like, the highest I've ever given. So this is the highest I've actually ever given to any wrestling segment or match.
Yeah, you got 10 points on your review. Mine completely blown. Robert also gave it a mind blown to 10 points.
And he's a harsher critic, so he usually doesn't give those as well. So that means all of our minds were really blown with the segment.
I know, and I gave it 14 points.
Wow, yeah.
So
you said you were gonna, yeah.
I gave it a heart and a thumbs up too. So we can combine ratings on our thing, and so mine is at plus 14. I took off 1 point. I said on my comments for Travis Scott being involved.
I don't like that
other
either.
Than that, yeah. So did you see my my thumbnail that I'm gonna make on this? So I edited this out. This is the part where Cena was stepping on Cody's neck with Rock next to him, but Travis Scott was right here.
Good job. I like that. Get rid of him. He shouldn't have even been there.
Yeah, we should do an AI version of this where they just have the regular scene without Travis Scott there for no goddamn fucking reason. But okay, whatever. I guess they say this helps WWE get like casual viewers. There's going to be people who are on Travis Scott's Instagram or something.
Oh, like only social media wise, right? So
Yeah.
it would be more social media views because of Travis Scott. Oh, maybe I could see that. I
guess. Okay. Well, let's cover our topic for today then. The topic I'm putting it is the Men's Elimination Chamber and the aftermath. So let's start at the Men's Elimination Chamber then, huh? Let's watch some pictures and some highlights, and we'll give our ratings for that, and then we'll go through the whole heel turn and give a play-by-play of how it happened. So Cena wins Elimination Chamber. All right, let me pull up our television. And I'm going to storyline number 6 on our Elimination Chamber review, which is the Men's Elimination Chamber. All right. So the first elimination was Drew McIntyre because he got distracted with the entrance of John Cena, and he got pulled into a roll-up from behind by Damian Priest. So I still think Damian versus Drew McIntyre for some reason is going to be a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, because it looks like they're setting up some stuff now. Yeah,
it looks so. What the hell are they going to do with Roman Reigns then? But maybe he's not even going to wrestle on this year's WrestleMania. I don't know because I'm not seeing anything. But we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
So Drew was out. He was all distraught and really sad, looking at that WrestleMania sign, knowing he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So he was pissed off, and he claymored Damian, which that went straight into Damian's elimination. Right? So he got pinned by Logan Paul, who did a nice frog splash off that top of one of the pods. I'll give him credit for that, yes. Yeah. So let's see. So then that led to CM Punk coming into the match. So he got in late. He got a late start. That was an advantage for him.
Yes.
And he had a moment with Cena. So this was very dramatic that everyone was asking if we'd get another CM Punk match before Cena retired, which I don't think we would because I don't see that making any sense. But this is pretty much as close as we're going to get. This was a pretty nice moment. So they brawled too. And then let me see. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had a moment where he was yelling at Cena, saying, "Get out! You know, this is my thing with Punk. You haven't even been here. Get the hell out of here. Let me handle this." Right? That was kind of dramatic. That was a good moment, I felt. Logan Paul, his elimination at the hands of CM Punk, right? So Logan Paul's out. And then the last 3 remaining was Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Cena. Good last 3. Pretty exciting. That's high-profile final 3. Again, Punk and Cena had another moment. They actually hugged each other.
They did.
They hugged each other before they went on a punching spree and started brawling with each other. But, okay, let me see. How did this happen? Did Seth took the next elimination after a go-to-sleep and an AA combination. So Seth was out. And then these guys kept fighting for quite a while, Cena and Punk.
Yes.
We didn't realize that Seth was, for some reason, still in the cage.
In the cage.
So when CM Punk fucking dragged himself out of the ring, he just got curb stomped out of nowhere by Seth Rollins. And then Cena, fortuitously, almost like a bad guy.
Almost.
Grabs CM Punk and puts him in a submission hold and takes advantage of it and wins the match. And Seth Rollins, he's like, I did my job. At least CM Punk didn't win.
Right. At least Punk is not going to WrestleMania. Exactly.
Yeah. Gosh. Those guys need to get a life. Seth Rollins needs to get a life. Everyone, when they get obsessed with CM Punk, they can't let it go, you know? But okay, so CM Punk and Seth Rollins are going to do the dance. It looks like they're going to be tied together for next month, I guess.
Yeah, so. No doubt. No doubt.
All right, then. So there was some sub-storylines we got amongst that whole thing of Cena winning the Elimination Chamber. All right, so the match. What did we review this match as? And we have Robert's review, too. Details. So this is all in my blog post, but I'm jumping straight to our reviews. Let's see. All right. So I gave it a plus 3 points. I loved it. I thought there was a lot of good high-profile moments with superstars in there, with Punk fighting and Cena fighting. How could you not love that? I thought it was good, man. Logan Paul got eliminated at the right time. Maybe Drew McIntyre is the one thing that I didn't understand them doing that. Maybe that's the one thing I would complain about. Vlad, thumbs up. Robert, 2 thumbs up. So good ratings all around. But Let's see. What do you got? You got any comments on the men's chamber match before we move on to the heel turn afterwards and everything? We're going to discuss that also in detail, but go ahead, Vlad. Sorry.
Yeah, not really a lot. I mean, obviously it was a good match, and you said it was star-studded at the very end there, and some cool moments with Cena and Punk, and then the stuff with Seth. I guess the only thing I didn't realize was that Seth was still in the chamber. Like, where did he? I thought he left, dude. I swear, I didn't even realize he was there the whole time they were fighting. The camera work was pretty good, I guess, to make it seem like he was no longer there. So I was like, what the hell? When he did the curb stomp, I was like, where did that come from? But it was a good match. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't think there's much else to say about that.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on to the post-match, the afterbirth or the aftermath, if you will, which we have already covered and talked about. But I'll just play some images to, sometimes I want to just show the images because it'll come up with, it'll help us come up with conversation. But sure. Lately I don't do like summaries like I used to. We just jump straight to the review. But for this one, this was a big enough moment where I guess we'll jump to actually watching slides from this. But okay. So Cena wins, and then Cody comes out, which, all right, that makes sense. He's the WrestleMania opponent. Yes. That's what Cena won, a chance to fight the WWE champion for the title at WrestleMania. So nothing weird yet. Nothing out of the ordinary yet.
No.
Again, Cena, talking to Cody in the ring. They're going to face off at WrestleMania. Look at that. Oh, yeah. It's going to be you and me. And then Travis Scott comes out, which, I don't know. I guess he's just a dirtbag, it seems. Maybe he's just there to draw heat or something like that.
Yeah, it worked.
I guess, yeah. I mean, back in the days, though, you use someone like Dennis Rodman, at least they would take a bump or wrestle sometime,
No, that's true.
I don't know. So there's the thing about wrestling fans saying this guy didn't deserve to be in such an iconic scene. That's exactly
what people are saying. You got that all right. So yeah.
I didn't really read comments, but I would assume that's what people are saying. But
yes.
Okay, so The Rock comes out, and this is what we've all been waiting for. It's the main event. They've even advertised it as the main event to get Cody's answer to The Rock, asking Cody for his soul, right? And The Rock comes out and he says it was very strange, right? It was like, come to me. Oh, how did he say it? Do you remember the line?
Well, look, I don't want to focus on this part too much because a lot of people are kind of saying, people that are not really wrestling fans but are watching this because they've heard about all of this stuff. They're saying a lot of the stuff that The Rock was saying was kind of gay, or it sounded gay. What is it? Well, what is the invitation that he's actually at? What is he inviting them to be and do? It was all odd. It was very strange. I have to be honest. The way he was wording it and the way he was always feeling up on him and stuff was kind of odd. I have to admit. I mean, I understand where they were going, but he didn't have to say and do it the way he was doing it. What the hell? It was kind of uncomfortable for a lot of people. Don't follow and watch wrestling. I already I've seen a lot of uncomfortable situations in wrestling, so it didn't really bother me one way or the other. But I did feel the way he was wording stuff was really freaking strange. Really odd, so I don't know. I don't know really what to make of that part of it. I mean, maybe I don't know if you have any insight of what you think, why he was wording stuff that was kind of sounding, I
didn't really find it gay. I just thought it was kind of simplistic and childish the way he was saying things like, you will come to me. Now I will open my arms and now you will come to me. And we will be as one, or whatever. I don't know what the fuck,
Yeah, but why was he always filling up on his face and shit? That was weird, man. I don't know. It was
I've seen people act that way. That's a certain type of personality. Maybe
I guess
he's a fatherly person or whatever.
Or I guess you could say he was trying to Big Brother him, type of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever. Okay. Let me move on though. So. There came the big moment where Cody finally said, we played it at the beginning of the show. I'm not going to play it again. But,
now, that was a moment, too. That's kind of got lost in the shuffle. But, yes, that was a moment.
No, that was the best moment. To me, that made Cody Rhodes forever. He told The Rock, go fuck yourself. And that made up for everything because I was criticizing on my Raw review and on my SmackDown review. Retrospectively, I'll go edit it because I was like, man, this doesn't make sense because Cody should just say no already. And that should be the end of it. But he waited for this moment so he could get on the big stage and tell The Rock to go fuck himself. So that was fucking awesome. It was perfect. It made me smile all day. I woke up thinking about it. It was
hell yeah. Oh yeah. What was great about it is they didn't bleep anything. They let him just say it. And even when they're airing it now on social media, they're not bleeping it, so they really want this to stick, you know? So I like that part of it as well. I mean, it was a big moment, got a huge reaction, because you really don't hear or see that type of stuff really in WWE. I know The Rock cusses all the time, but usually, even when The Rock is cussing, they usually bleep it, right? So this was like, they just said, hey, we're going to have to cuss. You guys are going to have to give us some leeway, because this is a big moment right here. You know? Yeah,
and that was great that they didn't make Raw or WWE R-rated recently, even though they had the ability to, because it's Netflix. Because they shouldn't do that, because then a moment like this wouldn't really land.
No, so, like what if if everybody was cussing all the time, right?
Yes. So perfect, spot on. So Cody, go fuck yourself. And then when the crowd was going absolutely crazy, the camera just focused on Rock, and he's just staring at Cody. And everyone's like, oh, shit. And Cena, too.
Cena too. That's what made it. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's what made it great, too, is Cena's reaction. He was thrilled, right? Like, he's like, oh, shit. Did you hear what he just said?
Oh, shit. And then Cena goes to hug Cody.
Right.
And this is where everything went weird.
Oh, yeah.
Because Cena gives Rock a look, and then The Rock gives him the kill sign, right?
The cut his throat sign or whatever.
The universal kill him.
Yeah.
You know, even if there was no plan, that was obvious. But then came the heel turn, and John Cena low blows Cody, and the whole crowd's going, oh my God, we're actually witnessing this. It's Cena's heel turn, and it's happening. It's happening. They all give each other a look, and
a lot of people are saying, or it's like the Order 66. You know, he told them, he gave him the Order 66 sign, and boom, Cena just went heel. Right. But anyways, continue.
Yes. So prototypical heel beatdown, made him bleed.
Yes.
Got his title belt.
Yes. All stuff that was really good. Choking him with his tie.
Yes, and then that was it. They just stepped on his head, stepped on his neck, and I think that's how they all walked off together.
Well, I also want to point out one other thing real quick, which what was this? Travis Scott. Yeah, I don't know the guy. I don't know that guy real well, but according to, I saw it later on. Obviously I've watched this multiple times now, because I didn't see it the first time we were watching, because I was too shocked probably. But I guess when they were beating up on Cody, he hit him in the face, and it looked like he hit him for real, because then when Cody got up, he had like a slight shiner on his face or something. Like, dude, guy shouldn't have even been there. That made me even more upset. Like, what? Obviously this guy can't give a working shot. Doesn't know. Look at him. Plus he was like smoking weed during the whole thing. He was like, I don't even know what the hell he was doing. Like, he was just, it was ridiculous that he was even there. But I think right here, somewhere right here, he punches Cody. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you get it or don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I didn't know that about Travis Scott, but okay.
Yeah, he gave him a shot, but I don't think that was planned for sure. It was a surprise to everybody involved, honestly. But anyways, it really ruined the moment for me that he was there. But I don't think it could have been better if he wasn't involved at all. Honestly, if he just wasn't there, I would have liked that a lot better.
Yes. All right. Well, that's that. I don't know. I think we've covered it all. Are you excited now for WrestleMania? Did this fix everything? It fixed the boring build-up to WrestleMania that we've been complaining about?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a great angle headed to WrestleMania. I mean, there's no way around that. A heel Cena with The Rock by his side. I mean, it's great against the ultimate babyface now currently, who has been Cody for the longest time now. So it's going to be great. I think it's going to be they have a couple of weeks, well, multiple weeks, right? They have what, like 4 or 5 weeks? No, maybe even more, to really build this thing up. I'm sure Cena will be on most of these Raws on Netflix. Maybe even a couple Smackdowns if need be, to get this thing going, you know? I mean, it's already going.
So. I've heard the opposite, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me.
Oh, that he might not be on any of these shows? Well,
yeah, basically.
He should at least be on, well, he definitely needs to be on this next Raw. Like, it's kind of important because they have the momentum right now with this. Everybody's talking about this thing. They have to keep going with it, at least for this week. At least for this week, he needs to be there, I think. He needs to be on the Raw.
He could send in a Twitter post or something.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Well, he needs to. I actually think he needs to start the show next.
I don't think he's scheduled for tomorrow's Raw, but maybe he'll surprise me. We'll see.
Well, that would be. I wouldn't. No, see, that I don't like. See, I know he's busy, but like he needed to make some time for this. After you just listen to like this, he needed to be there. But okay, all
right. Well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I don't want to. Yeah, don't quote me on that. But that's just kind of what I've been sort of hearing around the echo chamber.